Hi Scorpio, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your July 2023 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, swords what we have in front of us. It's a Celtic crossbred as always, and I also pulled the 4 agreements, Wisdom, Oracle, and Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright, so we have 10, and 10th house for you guys is Leo, and 10th house in general points to career and social status. Of course, as we get toward the end of July, we'll actually be starting Leo season, and there's also the fact that we have Mars in that sign, and Venus will retrograde in that sign as well, so plenty of activity going on in your 10th house for sure. Alright, we have Capricorn. So Capricorn is the typical ruler of the 10th house, but for you guys, Capricorn's actually a 3rd house of communication and short journeys, so you could see a relation there between your career and how you're communicating this month. And we have Uranus, and Uranus is actually in Taurus, which is your opposite sign of partnerships, contracts, or relationships. So this could be a lot of significant areas of your life getting hit this month, but that's what I see with that. Let's get started with the main spread. All right, in the main situation position, we have the King of Swords, and challenging that, we have the Six of Swords. So these are actually both Aquarius energies here, so it could just be saying that you might be putting your foot down around a certain situation, possibly within your home environment, possibly even with family. But yeah, it looks like you're pretty set in your ways around a situation, and why it could be a challenge, it could just be saying that, maybe rather than to take a hard stance on something, the call could be maybe for you to just take a little bit of distance away, maybe to give it a little bit more thought, separate it from the actual issue at play, and that might help you make a decision around the situation. All right, the foundation position, we have the Page of Cups. So for some of you, maybe this was due to an issue that had been going on for a while, and maybe someone might have actually already come in to try to fix the situation, but you might not have been satisfied with the level of the offer, right? Maybe you couldn't take it seriously because if you look at the cup there, there's a fish coming out of the cup. So to me, that makes me think of a rushed offer, right? Where they didn't even take the time to see, oh, wait, still have a fish in a cup, right? So could have just been one of those things where if someone was trying to make amends with you around a certain situation, you might not have been satisfied with the level of effort that they put into it. So that could be what has you in this bit of a hardened stance at this time. All right, in past position, we have the Ace of Wands. So for some of you, there could have just been a desire for something new too, right? So maybe you're starting to feel a bit of a stirring where you're like, okay, I really just want to move in a new direction around the situation. So like I said, for some of you, this seems like more of a home and family environment thing, but maybe you just felt like you needed a change of pace in general. All right, in the present position, we have the Eight of Cups. So Pisces energy here, and it could just be saying that for some of you might have already decided to walk away from the situation because you felt like it wasn't going to be fulfilling. So in a way, I could see that you might revisit that. And, we were talking about the Venus retrograde energy coming up, so for some of you, that might be what causes you to revisit it. But again, given that we saw that Six of Swords in a challenge, I feel like it was saying that rather than make a hard, fast decision at this time, it looks like you're being called to give it a bit more thought. So on the one hand, it does look like you are actually walking away from the situation, but to me, it looks like there could be an indicator that you might reconsider at some point. All right, in the near future position, we have the Death card. So this is actually the major arcana card for your sign, and obviously, given what we've been talking about there, in the near future, it looks like you will actually decide that you would rather leave a situation behind altogether. Yeah, like I said, for some of you, this feels like you just want to change of pace, maybe a change of environment altogether. So for some of you, maybe you're even considering moving to a new area just to get a clean slate around the situation. All right, in a position of your influence in the situation, we have the Magician. So definitely a good card to see come up in this position, because this does say that whatever decision that you're hoping to make, it looks like you do have the power to turn things in your favor. So, I mean, if we look at the position and the spread as well, I don't know why this card's refusing to focus right now, but look at the position of the card and the spread as well. He's pointing right up toward the Eight of Wands energy, which is in your environment. So to me, that represents a lot of movement, a lot of activity. So to me, this is saying that if there is something that you would like to change in your life, this would be a good time to do so. All right, in the environment position, like we were just talking about, we have the Eight of Wands. So for some of you, if this is around finances, and maybe if there was some kind of a blockage around your finances, all right, so for example, let's just say this might sound like a bit of a weird example, but let's say if you had your own business, right, and you live in a small town, and maybe you were doing okay there as far as consistent, loyal customers, right, but then you might have figured out a way that you could expand your reach. So maybe you start a website, right, and you offer your services, and now you have customers from all over the place, right, maybe even different countries, things along those lines. So you're going to experience the growth and expansion from that. So just one of those things where, like, okay, maybe there is a level of contentment and a level of success that you experience in your current environment, but you might get the idea that, okay, I actually want to broaden my horizons, and that could cause some movement for you guys there. And if it's not that, like I said, it could just be, given that this is a lot of fourth house energy, for some of you, maybe if you felt like you've been just more cooped up lately and not really getting out as much as you'd like, this could just be representing a shift in that as well, to where you are going to be able to get out more, experience more things, and do more activities. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the Six of Wands. So I do have to say that if this is around some kind of a conflict, though, seeing the Six of Wands in the hopes or fears position here, to me, this is saying that you're hoping to be successful around the situation, right? So you're hoping to be seen as the one who was right around the situation. This is Leo energy here too, and we were talking about all the energy coming on in Leo, and we saw 10th house come up in your dice as well. So could just be pointing to Leo season for some of you, might where you're hoping to see these things turn around, but definitely looks like you will be getting some kind of recognition given all the 10th house energy we've seen and what we said about astrologically, how much energy is going to be in there too. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Queen of Wands. So this is Aries energy here. So to me, this says on the one hand, you might actually soften your stance a little bit, right? Because we see the King of Swords and then moving toward at least a bit more of a feminine energy, but still a very action-oriented energy. So for some of you, this could just represent, okay, like maybe, I mean, we even see holding the sunflower there, right? So for me, this says that, okay, if there was some kind of conflict, you might feel a little bit differently about it as we get toward the end of July, or even just, like I said, if you felt resentment around a certain situation, feeling like you were cooped up a little bit, I feel like this is saying that once you do get that release and get that movement, you're going to feel a lot better around the situation. All right, bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Cups. So yeah, that looks like there is some potential for some fresh starts around situations for you guys this month. And like I said, maybe it'll just be if you've been feeling stagnant for a while, right, and feeling like you're cooped up in an environment, just getting out actually will free that up and open up things for you guys in a positive sense. All right, moving on to your 4 agreements card, we have always do your best and don't overdo. There's the artwork. Okay, it says always do your best, but don't overdo. When you overdo, you deplete your body and go against yourself, and it will take you longer to accomplish your goal. So interesting message there, right? Because putting that spin on it could just be saying that if this was a singular focus around a goal, right, and maybe that Six of Swords in that context is saying, you know, actually, hey, maybe the best thing for you to do would be to take a step away from that goal for a little bit, just to, I mean, and then we can see the Eight of Cups energy there. So it could just be saying that if you are feeling a little bit stuck in something where you do have that singular focus, but you don't seem to be getting the progress you're hoping for, maybe the key would be to step away for a little bit, and that could leave you feeling a bit more refreshed and rejuvenated around the situation. All right, moving on to your Wisdom Oracle card, we have Chaos and Conflict. And I don't know why this won't focus either. There we go. And there's the artwork, and the number is 33. So let's see what this has to say. All right, essential meanings says disarray, being at cross purposes with another, the tension of opposites, the value of chaos before order. The oracle's message: opposing forces come together to create a turbulent atmosphere, but consider the value of chaos that serves you well as you become unmoored by it. Scattered to the winds, you leave behind the parts of yourself you no longer need and disperse seeds to reinvent yourself anew. Although the conflict appears to exist externally, its essence is also internal, projected outward and causing disarray. You may find yourself at cross purposes with someone else, facing a storm you feel you can't control. Yet every storm passes and chaos leads to a reordering of things. Conflict provides a way to see more than one side of a situation. Look upon this as just a moment in time when you may need to take shelter and step away from the fray. Don't be too eager to fight. This is a time to understand rather than to be understood. So yeah, definitely a positive message there, and that points to what I was saying where I felt like for some of you, it looks like you're being called to possibly step away from something if you are really digging in around the situation, and then with a little bit of time, you might see things through a different lens. All right, the relationship message says stubbornness is keeping you in a state of opposition. The incessant need to be right will only serve to prolong the conflict that deep down you want to be resolved. This is an opportune moment to learn about your values, your sense of self, what's really important to you. Some things are non-negotiable. If that's true, it's not necessary to fight. Can you find a way through the stormy emotions to higher ground? Soon the air will clear, and you will be in a much better place than before, for the storm will have passed, blazing a path for new growth in its wake. Things can become electric and enlightened, always better than before, if you use this time constructively. So yeah, definitely a positive message there as well. And to me, where it talked about conflict deep down that you want to be resolved, that could also be what that magician energy is pointing to, or like I said, whatever direction you would like something to go. It looks like you have the power to do that this month. And then if that were the case, then the Eight of Wands in the environment could be pointing to that once you take that step forward, you might see the blockage removed and then see things moving forward in that regard. And yeah, I mean, that was under relationship messages. So for some of you, that could be a romantic connection. But for some of you, like I said, this could even be like a family thing or just somewhere within your home environment that you're feeling that tension and conflict. All right, the prosperity message says circumstances appear to be chaotic, but everything that is happening now is in truth shaking things up so you can find a real path to your prosperity. Yes, it's a stormy time, and it feels as if there are opposing forces wherever you turn. Be reassured that there is divine purpose in this chaos. Everything that doesn't work is being taken from you, so the truest parts of yourself remain. The events occurring now are essential for your ultimate prosperity. This chaos is divinely inspired, even though it doesn't appear that way now. In time, you will notice to be true. So yeah, definitely a positive message there for sure, because like we said, there's definitely going to be a lot of energy in your 10th house of career and social status, which of course is linked to prosperity, including that Venus retrograde like we talked about, and then seeing that Capricorn came up for you guys, and your ruler, Pluto, actually recently retrograded back into Capricorn, so could definitely be a connection there for sure. All right, and lastly, we have Mudra for you guys. This is your Mudra here. It's the Bhairava Mudra. The keyword for it is fierceness. All right, and there's the info on it. If you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say, but under benefits, it says calms the mind, serves as an aid to meditation, cuts ego clinging, imparts the courage needed to fully embrace life as it is. So if that sounds like a movie or thing be beneficial for you guys, I'll put the name in the description video as always. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.